Plaintiff Donna Bob and her 15-year-old son Roland say Roland's a good kid with no criminal record. However, he's a typical teenage boy who has his days. Roland claims he was walking home one day when he got in a fight with a classmate. And out of nowhere, the defendant punched him in the mouth and broke his jaw. They're suing for pain and suffering. Defendant Russell Patterson says the fight between Roland and his friend started over a joke, and he admits that he was the one who told his friend to fight Roland. Russell claims the reason he punched Roland was because he thought Roland had a knife, and although he's remorseful, he feels he's paid for his crime.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Your Honor, this is my son, Roland. He's 15. He's a great kid, doesn't have a criminal record, anything of that sort. He's your typical teenager, however. We have our days, but at the end of the day, he's a great kid. In February, I received a call from the school that Roland and another classmate had got into a confrontation, just a verbal confrontation in the hallway that drew a crowd. Therefore, the school suspended Roland and the other student for 3 days. The following Thursday, they went back to school. I told Roland to stay away from the kid, no problems. A little while later that evening, Roland asked me if he could we have a community rec center. He asked me if he could go over there. I let him go. And I'm gonna let him tell you from there.
Young man.
Your Honor, as I was walking to the rec center, I got there and the staff told me that they were closed because they were having a meeting. So I started walking back to my house and I saw a friend from school. I stopped and talked with him for about 20, 25 minutes, and then a large group of people started coming up asking me about the confrontation I had at school with another student. They were asking me if I wanted to fight him and everything like that.
How many?
At first, there was probably about 4 or 5, but as the time went on, at total, there was at least 20 people out there.
And you were alone?
Yes.
Go ahead.
They knew I had problems with him, so I was ready whenever he was.
That's what you told them?
Yes.
And he wasn't there, though? He wasn't in the crowd?
No, they were just asking me, about if I still wanted to fight and everything. So around 15 minutes later, a car pulls up with Russell and the student that I was going to fight. So we start fighting. About a minute into the fight, Russell comes up out of nowhere and punches me in my mouth. And that's the end.
Were you winning the fight or something?
Yes.
You were beating his buddy?
Yes, sir.
So he sucker punched you?
Yes, sir.
Let me hear your side.
All right. It all started because my friend made a joke about Roland, and he got mad and he wanted to fight, but they didn't fight at school, they got suspended. And he came to free time, that's where we stay at, that's where the gym is at. And he knows that we stay there. As a matter of fact, my friend stays right beside the gym. So if there was a problem, why would you come to that gym? I swear to God, I've never seen him up there before, and I've been staying out there for like 11 years. So they were fighting. So while they were fighting.
Can't fight?
Who?
Your buddy.
Neither one of them can. They were just,
So obviously you didn't have to jump in.
No, the reason that I did was because during the fight, they both grabbed each other and his hand was down by his pocket. I don't know anything about this kid. I've never seen him in free time before a day in my life.
That's a little strange.
Yeah.
That's pretty hard to do.
How?
Grab each other and have your hand by your pocket.
No, he was grabbing him and my friend had him with both his hands around his neck. And he had him by the shirt. And my mind was just racing. I'm the one that told him he should go ahead and fight him, so I didn't want him to get cut up or something over something I told him to do. So I punched him and I said, I'm sorry. When he's like, oh, I broke my jaw. And
He has never apologized, Your Honor.
And he sat there we sat out there with him.
When did you apologize?
As soon as I hit him, because I told you my head was just racing and I didn't know what he was gonna do.
Reacted on impulse.
Right. And so
then you regretted it right after doing it?
Yes, I was just doing it in defense of my friend because I didn't want him to get seriously injured. You know what I mean? Everybody gets to a fight here and there, so that wouldn't have been anything. But I didn't want him to want to go further than that. Kid.
Sir, you want to testify?
Yes, sir.
State your name.
Russell Patterson.
What do you want to tell me?
Well, my son actually, he came to me a few times saying some kid want to fight a friend of his, and of course I was telling him, I said, I don't condone fighting, So afterwards, I hear that he broke somebody's jaw, and a few days later they arrested my son from school, and I actually picked him up and I paid the bond, but I left him in there for a couple of days just to let him know this is not a place I want you to be, this is not a place you want to be. Mm-hmm. And my son has no criminal record. I mean, my son's a great kid. He's graduated, like I said, he's in college, but he had to stop going.
Where you at in college?
I was going to ECPI. I just graduated from high school this year,
okay.
Right.
And I started ECPI on July the 20th, but then they came with me with pretrial intervention so I could get that off my record. So I did it, but in doing that, I had to quit because I was going to college at night. So I'm going to have to pay them and do community service, and I can't do all three at the same time. But I can always go back. I should be going back by next year.
All right, good.
Yeah, he will go back.
So you're basically saying he's a decent young man.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
You on top of it.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that. You seem like a decent young man, and you certainly sound like a responsible father. So, on the other hand, this young man suffered, and he's suing for the suffering. And what damages amount to $5,000? Tell me about the damages.
Well, I'd like to pick up where he left off, if I may, Your Honor.
Go ahead. Don't talk yourself out of a judgment, but go
I understand,
ahead.
sir. I received a phone call from one of the kids out there that I needed to come and get my son, that he had a broken jaw. When I got there, Your Honor, he had blood, gobs of blood pouring out of his mouth. He couldn't move his jaw or anything. His jaw was broken in 3 places, 2 on one side and 1 on the other. Your Honor, look at this. The plastic surgeon had to do that to put titanium in his face. He had his mouth wired shut for I think it was about 10 weeks. He couldn't eat. As you can see, he's already tall and slim. He lost about 30-something pounds. It was terrible, Your Honor. He was choking on the blood, and he was passing out because he was losing so much blood. And I'm sorry. It was a mess. It was a mess. And still, and I have here for you,
Let's see it, please.
a record from the doctor stating, I have the school record if you'd like. I have the police report here if you'd like. I have everything, Your Honor.
Okay, he's admitted to doing it, and he has no legal excuse. So hopefully both you young men learned a lesson. Your lesson is control yourself. Don't jump into anybody's fights. Yes, sir.
I mean, I agree with totally what you're saying, but what actually gets me as a father, I mean, he continued to come over looking to fight. He even went to the guy's house. He went to the guy's house and was trying to get him to come outside to fight.
I don't even know where those people live.
They stay right next door to the center. If they go to the center, if they go to the center a lot, then they wouldn't know where he stays.
Well, the fact is that, young man, you did show a willingness to fight. Remember when they asked you if you wanted to fight and you said, whatever, come on with it? All of that?
That was
means
mutual.
I want to fight. And you saw what the fight led to. So hopefully you learned a lesson. Nonetheless, you're entitled to a judgment for the pain and suffering and all the things that happened. $5,000 for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, for real.
Thank you.
I do apologize
Thank
for that. I was wrong.
Thank you. He still has more medical procedures that he has to go through, dental, and all that.
It's a great, regretful feeling that this did happen to you, and I do apologize, on behalf of my son, and like I said, anything else we need to do, you just let us know.
Thank you, sir.
Okay?
Thank you.